And we are live for another episode of the Blue Eyed Devil podcast here at the new Toronto podcast at Revival Studios in Toronto. Before we begin, I welcome our guest. I just want to say thank you to Graham Castle and Toronto Podcast for all the support the Blue Eyed Devil podcast and Raising Dad has been given over the years. And it's a great partnership and relationship we have with Graham and Toronto Podcast. So check it out online. And if you're looking to make some of your own content, this is a place to do it. We are lucky today to have a very well-known person here in Toronto who is a content creator, actor, graduate, and I understand the top graduate from her program at George Brown College. Lindsay Ivan, welcome.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me. It's an honor.
I don't know if it's an honor, but
I don't know. I'm like having someone reach out and be like, I want you on my podcast. It's, it's amazing. I'm like, me? Little old me?
For what it's worth, I'm a fan.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think your content is excellent.
Thank you.
You have been able to cultivate an audience, not just of size, but of substance and depth, I think.
Oh, thank you.
And most people don't really understand the sacrifice and the grind that goes into building what you've built. 1 million followers on TikTok, a couple 100,000 followers on YouTube, big Instagram presence. Tell me a little bit about what do you have to sacrifice? What does it take to get through this, to get where you are?
Yes, it's a lot of personal time for sure. I know there's the whole joke of like, I quit my 9 to 5 and now I work like 9 to 11 p.m. I'm like, it's true. There's some days where I'm like, I can't switch off that part of my brain that's like, I should be working, especially since I work from home. I can't, it's hard to like separate that space of like I'm working versus like I'm resting versus if you go out and you're like at your job in a building and you come home, it's automatically, okay, this is now resting. It's a lot of time and it's just constant go because you're trying to hop on what everyone else is talking about, right? Not only trends, but then if you're not consistent, you're just not going to go anywhere. It's like the whole posting and ghosting, which I see far too many people like doing that. And then they're like, Lindsay, why aren't I growing?
Do you find that the art gets lost in the hustle, or does the art or do they get enmeshed in one another? Is there sacrifice that happens?
I know some people that will put consistency over quality. I don't want that. I always want my videos to still look good and be good. I will say, so my background is acting and then I got into content. I kind of got thrown into like this scary, spooky story niche because I told a scary story and that went viral. And I was like, well, obviously I'm going to keep riding the wave. If people like it, I'm going to keep giving what they want. But deep down, I always loved comedy. And that's what I love. I love doing sketch. I love doing improv. I just started doing stand-up comedy. So I love that, right? And so I was like, you know what if I start a separate page that's just comedy and then that can be for myself and it resonates with people, then it resonates with people and I can get an audience. So that's why now I have 2 separate niches and 2 YouTube channels, 2 TikToks, 2 Instagrams, and it's one for my scary content, which I still love, like true crime, reacting to ghosts and all that stuff. And
so
then
you've essentially given up the 9 to 5 for like 9 to 1 in the morning.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah.
And it is a grind, and it is hard, and things that are worth something sometimes are hard to do. But I can also imagine that there is a great amount of pleasure in it all, for getting to be immersed in the craft that you spent time honing, and it is now finding its way not just into the world of acting, but into comedy, content creation, all these different pieces where you've got. Could you have imagined this?
No, it is literally a dream come true. Like when I was younger, I always knew I wanted to be an actor, didn't know how to make that possible. And then I would always watch like the big YouTubers growing up and I was like, I want to do that, but I didn't know how. Yeah. And then I just started posting and I was like, if it hits, it hits. So every day I am so thankful. And I'm like, the fact that I have an audience and I'm like, 1 million is crazy. Like,
How quickly did that happen? To help my audience understand that.
Ooh, okay.
No,
it's good.
My son and I and our podcast, Raising Dad, the podcast, we got to 20,000 followers on TikTok. And I know what that took and how much how much work it was to cut video and make it happen. And not every video hits, right?
Yeah.
But to get to 1 million followers on TikTok, that's not nothing. Like, how do you do that?
No, that took time. I want to say I started, I feel like everyone says this during the pandemic, but that's when I started. And I remember the video that took off. Again, I was doing like little comedy random sketches. I wasn't even a huge fan of TikTok. I still don't really scroll on the app. I just post and then I like exit out. But I remember I posted a video and it was called Dark Things Disney Doesn't Want You to Know.
Yep. Because
I'm taking something, Disney being the happiest place on earth, and I'm matching it with scary facts that don't go. So it's like a controversial thought. And part 3 of that took off and it hit 1 million. And it was, which is harder to do now. And I recognize that because on my other TikTok account, it is harder to grow it. Yeah. So it's just like times have changed and like oversaturation. But back then, that video, it got me 1 million views. And then I kept doing part 4, part 5, part 6, because that's what I knew was hitting. All of those started to do well. And my audience went up to like 50,000 within that month. So it was pretty fast. And then I actually ended up taking a break off of TikTok because I got so overwhelmed. So I want to say when I had like 200K, I took a year break because I was so overwhelmed and I was focusing on other stuff. And in Canada, we don't get paid off of TikTok, right? Yeah. We don't have the creator fund.
Yeah. Be nice if we did. How does that not happen?
It'd be so nice. Yeah. So I wasn't making money and maybe I had a sponsorship and it was like $100. Like I didn't know how to monetize myself. So I took a break. And when I got back to it, I was like, okay, I really want to hit. I just set goals. So I was like 500K and then I would hit that. And then it took me, I think I hit 1 million literally last year. Last year around this time. Yeah.
And how long was that from the first follower to there? Probably 5 years?
Yeah. When was the pandemic?
Pandemic 5 years.
2022? Yeah. So 5 years. Okay. But again, on and off, not being consistent.
What I see in the influencer culture a lot of the time, because trends and algorithms, right, drive the whole thing. Mm-hmm. So we are encouraged, if you want to grow and you want to be seen, to conform to the trend, conform to, and over a period of time, continually doing that. Do you lose your own message? Do you lose the art in that? Do you lose yourself?
Oh, for sure. If you're just doing like, that's why I always say, I'm like, if you see me doing a dance, you know I got bills to pay because I will never get on that like TikTok dance trend. There's no way, right? But for sure, there's like, I'm like, there's certain trends that you kind of feel obligated to like hop on. For my scary TikTok, it's kind of harder to do trends because like there's nothing that really applies to me. Even trending audio, if it's like a song, it wouldn't make sense for. Yeah. So my trend was just following what my audience wanted. If something worked, I was doing part 3, part 4 until they no longer liked that. And then reading the comments being like, what else can I do? And doing those little shifts.
So you do read the comments? Sometimes.
Okay. Yes. Yeah. If it's like the last thing that, I mean, I just laugh at it now, but I said something, if I get a date wrong, like if it's like 1996, I say 1969, whatever it is, sometimes it flips in my brain. They'll be like, that's wrong. And all the comments will be like, she's wrong. I'm like, you could say it once and I understand. But I'm like, you know what? I'll just take it. It's engagement. Thankfully, no one attacks my appearance so much anymore. Sometimes I get the odd hate comment, but I'm like, it's one person out of how many fans?
Sure.
I'm like, what do they get? And then half the time it's like a 10-year-old in their room or,
it can still cut though.
Oh, of course.
Especially if they hit a nerve. Right?
Oh my gosh, right? Yes.
It can.
Now this is what I do, which I don't recommend doing, but I like to be funny. So I got a comment before and it was like, yo, her eyebrows are so messed up, or like she does this weird thing with her eye. And so I stitched that comment so that it would like apply as like a reply. And I made a video and I was like, hey guys, so I'm so sorry that my eyebrows piss you off, you know, and I like did the whole thing. Or there was one thing that she's like, she blinks too much. So I was like, hey guys, I'm so sorry that I blink too much. I promise I won't do that. Like, and then the true fans will see that and be like, she's funny. Or even sometimes I get the original person that hated it. They're like, okay, you're funny. I like you. I'll go easy on you. Right. But then sometimes it opens it up for more people to be like, okay, I want to roast her so that she responds to me. So you just kind of got to be careful. but I love doing little things like that.
Well, here's the thing: the more haters there are, or the more comments there usually are, and the more you engage, the more it blows up, right? And so, when we first went viral on Raising Dad, there was a number of we had a bunch of million view videos, and they were being driven by people who were making fun of it, right? Like, and there's also people who love it, right? But the algorithm will feed off of that negativity, right? It will, and it'll light fires in it, and the little gas,
and it'll keep pushing it to people that engage in that kind of. Oh, of course. But I'm like, if you can roll with that and turn it around and like
troll the trolls,
they hate it because then they're like, like you're taking their power away, owning it.
Well, that is really where Authentic Ginger came from, right? It really is, right? Like. I wrote a blog recently about how when I was growing up, I got called the Red Wheeze. My red hair and my asthmatic, I eventually put the Red Wheeze on my license plate because I wasn't going to be trolled that way, right? I was going to own it. And when I took over the label from folks out east for Authentic Ginger, it was similar. It was during a time where we're coming to realize that gingers did get it bad. Right, like they did get bullied, and I'll be honest. One of the things I've really enjoyed about you is that I kind of thought you were a ginger.
Yes, I'm like, we got to talk about this because you reached out and you're like, hey, we'd love you on the podcast and send you some merch, and immediately I saw the name Authentic Ginger. I was like, full transparency, this is dye.
I love it.
This is fake. I'm like, you can see my roots coming in.
Can I tell you what I love about it, though?
Yes.
And this is because when I was growing up, nobody wanted to be ginger,
yes.
right? Nobody wanted to be ginger, and you got made fun of. You might have got a little beat down or whatever it might be. Now we have actors and influencers, content creators who aren't ginger who want to be ginger.
Yes.
And how cool is that?
I saw somewhere that it's like the color. It's the new, like people want the like honey red or whatever, the fancy name that they give it. And it's like the new it color that everyone wants.
Incredible.
Hey.
Right? And it's, I can speak honestly about it. When I was growing up, gingers did not get attention from girls. We did not. We were freckle-faced and pale skin.
Freckles, yeah.
And Ed Sheeran, Prince Harry, they really did have changed things, right?
Yeah.
Like where and have owned being ginger in a way that is subversive, and Eminem's dropping lines about gingers now, and it's a cool thing. So for what it's worth, you're on the team. You're on the team.
Well, my mom's a gingy, so
told me,
kind of,
And I think it's probably strawberry blonde
yes.
right?
Yeah,
so,
like my roots blend in, so I can get away with not dyeing it so often, and people think it's real.
Well, welcome to Team Ginger. You're on Team Ginger.
I'll take it. I love it. It's more unique too.
I've been seeing on your content recently that you're grinding in the gym now too. I see lots of that.
Yes. So I've always been pretty athletic. Like I have two older brothers, so everything that they did, I wanted to do. I remember my mom putting me in dance and gymnastics, because those were like the girly sports. Yeah. I was like, no, I want to play hockey.
Love
so
it.
I dropped out of dance and I played ice hockey for 3 years.
Really?
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah, it was co-ed, so I'm like, there was only like ever 2 or 3 girls on the team. And I can still skate, and my family, like we're skiers and soccer. Soccer's my main sport.
Okay.
But then recently my friend reached out to me and she was just like, hey, you got to try like boxing, Thai boxing. And I love it.
It's awesome.
Yeah. I'm like, I think it's so important because even when days where I'm so stressed, I'm like, I need to make time to have that out, like,
Totally agree.
Have some sort of, physical outlet so that you can let go of that. And like punching things, yeah.
I just moved into a new building. It has a 2-floor gym with like punching bags and all the best stuff. And I told you earlier, I turned 45 a couple of weeks ago, and it's aging does something to you, and being able to get into the gym on a regular basis it's something everybody should do. It really, not to be judgmental, but it is.
No, it's so good for mental and physical well-being.
Totally agree.
And I have been the person that, like, I have a gym in my building, but I don't have the motivation to just go there by myself. I like going to classes, right? Yeah. So going to a class where there's structure and I just follow along, amazing. If I'm like, oh, I have to lift a weight, I'm like, okay. Like, what do I do? Done. You know, like there's no one there like pushing you or being like, no, you're doing like check your form. So that's why I like boxing, because we also do like conditioning too. So we'll do weightlifting and stuff.
So like actual box, like in the ring boxing?
No, not in the ring.
No.
We got pads and we're just like kicking and.
But you're going at each other.
Yeah, we're not like wrestling each other.
No.
There's people that do that, and I'm like, I see it, and I'm like, no, that's crazy. I can't do that. I feel like I'd just cry. I'd be like, stop. But like, yeah, we'll hold the pads for each other, and we'll like, you know, punch, but not at each other's like faces or.
I find a lot of these exercise kind of clubs, organizations, gyms, running clubs, that kind of stuff really is a lot of the new community oriented.
It is.
Like it is. And it's, I'm finding it's how single people meet each other.
Okay,
too.
so I was gonna literally bring that up because
it is. It's how single people meet each other.
Yes, the run clubs are what people say in Toronto are like the new dating clubs.
Yeah, the apps are done.
Yeah, the apps are done. Go to a run club, which did not work in my favor. I was seeing someone from a run club, did not go well.
Oh, God.
And then
because Bumble would have done it so much better.
Right. But at least you could see what they're like, and you know. But even at my gym, I was just like, so where's the like cute boxer guys? No.
That's funny. No, I think that for a long time, in the kind of social media world, we were getting very sucked into everything being on a screen, right? Like, and relationships being through screen, work being through screen, especially through the pandemic.
Oh, yeah.
And I really do think that the kind of rejection of dating apps, which seems to be happening. Maybe it's just me in my circle, but nobody. Yeah, exactly. And it's funny because they were so popular for so long.
They were so popular.
Yes.
And I don't know. I guess because during I hate saying the pandemic. Nobody likes reflecting on that, the PTSD.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a way to like meet people and talk to people, and everything was online for a bit. And I think now people are going back to that genuine human connection that we've lost for those years, and we want it back. And I think that's why people are tired of like, swiping on images and talking online. You're like, I want to meet you in person. And that's what I like.
I do too. And I think, I've seen some of I'm trying to remember what they're called. It's like Thursday something, where it's like everyone who shows up at this one place is all single.
Oh,
and like it's usually downtown, and like I think it's pretty cool. It's different than what I would have had growing up. It's different than the social media and the dating app phase. It's kind of this. I think it is post pandemic. It's saying I don't want to be stuck in my apartment anymore. Right? It really is. And yeah, I think it's cool.
Yeah. And I'm going to tie this back to what you said before of like is there any like sacrifices that I make? I do have a hard time actually finding a partner. I find that, and I'm not like trying to like toot my own horn, but guys have literally told me that they feel overwhelmed by me, or the fact that I was talking to this guy and he was like, you're always working. I'm like, yes, because I want to get to the point where I can buy a property and settle down and not have to work when I'm 90, Yeah.
Are they intimidated by the social media presence?
Not by the presence, just my drive and how much I have going for me. When they're like, just like a bartender or something, I'm like, thank you for saying that. One guy was even like, we need to take a break. You have your life ready. You're on this great path. And he was like, I need to figure out my shit. Like he said that.
He might be right.
And I was like, well, as he's living at home,
he might be doing you a favor.
I know. So I was like, actually, thank you for that. And I was like, I respect that. But yeah, it's hard. I'm like, being a powerful woman is hard. No, I don't want to say that, but
the new
I'm
patriarchy.
Like, no, but I need someone that like, I guess always also maybe is in the same, like not the exact same. I don't think I could date another creator. That's a whole other thing, but someone else that, has like
this is what I see too, is that creators dating creators can also become about audience growth.
Yes.
And it's which is a whole different thing, right? Like, because then you're really mixing personal, professional, and whatever this is.
And then you're putting on a show for your followers thinking that that's what they want, or like they analyze every aspect of like, oh, you didn't post this, you didn't post that, or they're only posting for the audience. I've had a public influencer relationship. And it was like you had the fan base that are like, oh, we ship them together. And it's like, it's so hard to like please them in a different sense. It's weird. They want to know everything about your relationship.
Did you guys get like one of those like influencer couple names like Kim Ye or something like that?
No, we didn't, but we started a joint TikTok account, and if you search, it's out there because
Oh,
I don't
yeah?
know the password to delete it.
That'll follow you.
It did not go anywhere, but it literally had like our like nickname.
That's fun.
I'm like, no, it's out there. It's out there.
Well, you
But
survived
he's
it.
happily engaged. So
Congratulations
Congrats.
to whoever you are.
if he sees this, oof, crazy.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool. So Toronto, born and raised, Scarborough. What was that like growing up in Scarborough? Because people have an idea of Scarborough.
Bad
They
rap,
do, right? Like,
but, I mean, everywhere you go, there's pockets. Even downtown Toronto, there's the bad areas and like the good areas, and then the really rich areas. So when people say Scarborough, they think like, ooh, violence, really bad. Mine was a really small neighborhood. Like we would go outside and play, and then, you know, when the streetlights came on, we had to come home. Like all of my friends were like in this like block. Everything was so close. I loved it. And my parents still live in the same house that we grew up in, which is really nice. And
cool.
yeah.
What's your favorite thing
nice.
about Toronto culture?
Oof. I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes I'm like, ooh, Toronto, I want to get the heck out. You
Yeah?
know, there's pros and cons being in here.
Tell me.
Don't you, maybe it's just me, but I'm like, sometimes I find, first of all, people are not as nice as Canadian, like, you know, the whole stereotype of like being so nice. Some people are not. Downtown Toronto is more like cutthroat.
Yeah.
But I love when the city comes together for like little things. Like if there's like a market,
Yep.
I love the thrifting in Toronto. Like that's great. When people come together and we're like all experiencing something and we all like, I love things like that. I don't love the competitive side of like whether it's like the acting influencer culture that's down here. Yeah, I'm like, we need more nature. Need more nature.
You know, concrete jungle of Toronto. It's not that. People need city breaks for sure. But it is such a unique place.
It is.
It's been named the most multicultural city in the world. You can eat food from anywhere in the world.
Which that's what I like too.
Yeah.
Kensington Market.
Yeah.
Oof.
It is cool.
Yeah. Yeah, because you have like Little Italy, you have Chinatown, you know. I absolutely love it. Yeah. I love the little different pockets and neighborhoods that you can go around to.
I agree with that. You know, and it really is. It's a city of villages because it all kind of
Yeah.
meshed with one another. And there's so much history with people from different parts of the world. And, you know, food does lead us to history, right? You make it to these places and you kind of start to learn and where, you know, whether it's Little Italy or somewhere else, where like you really do start to realize that this place had so many different groups of people that came around to make it Toronto. And yes, it is busy, and you know there are things to not like about it for sure. But as someone who came here as an immigrant a long time ago, I got a lot of love for Toronto. I really do. Maybe not Drake as much, but you know.
Oh no, he's not a fan of Drake.
Oh, that big block of ice. Did you see it?
Yeah, I didn't bother going.
No?
And like when it's a big activation like that, that's crazy. I just saw the memes and all the brands like hopping.
His
that.
rollout for this Iceman album is incredible. Actually, like it is such a long rollout with the teasing of each piece of it, and I give it to him. Right, he's got
smart marketing. It is so smart.
Everyone's talking about it, not
Yes.
just in Toronto, around the world.
Yeah.
Right, and once you get to a certain size, a certain audience, for like when you're his international kind of success, you can do this. You could roll out an album for 2 years, right?
I think somebody said that he got fined for that, but that's like nothing. He could pay the fine and be like, you know, the amount of publicity it did for me, it outweighs that.
Totally.
You could just take that money and put it into marketing, wouldn't be the same effect.
But it's the same kind of thing, right? It's we can become slave to the algorithm, slave to the marketing. So I guess what the question I want to get to is who's Lindsay when the phone goes down? Who's Lindsay when like nobody's watching? Right?
Oh, that's good. I feel like I'm still me. Online, it's a more heightened, especially when I'm doing comedy. I'm more silly, goofy. Sometimes I put on a little accent. I talk like this, you know?
Yeah.
And people think that's actually me. I think, yeah, online is definitely a more more heightened version of who I really am. But I've always been the quirky, down to earth, like caring person, like wanting to genuinely get to know someone. Yeah, when I'm not online, I'm just in sweatpants, just rotting on my couch. Nice. I'm like, I need a break. And I love consuming YouTube. You know, I watch YouTube more than Netflix or shows or movies. Like it's always on.
Yeah. And it does have an algorithm that helps feed you the kinds of things you're interested in.
Yes. Yeah. YouTube algorithm is like elite. It's finding the viewers specifically for each video, not just the channel. It's each video. It's who would this video serve, and it gets pushed out to them. It's crazy.
I wouldn't have known that the way you're describing it. You think it's different than the other platforms?
Oh, for sure.
And what's the biggest difference?
Oh, I think with like TikTok and Instagram, it's just Instagram has like over 5 different algorithms, or like it's actually crazy. They have like one for your stories, they have one for photos, for reels under this amount, for reels over this amount. But yeah, they do, from my understanding, is for like at least reels, is they'll send it to a small group of your followers and then a small group of people outside of your following that aren't following you. If that performs well, it'll open it up to more followers.
Yep.
And more people outside the following. Versus YouTube, it's always in the subscription, like your inbox. So if you're subscribed to that person, you're going to see their videos no matter what.
Okay.
And then if you're on that homepage that has like the top picks for you, it'll be something that the YouTube algorithm purposely was like, you have watched a video about, like, let's say thrifting and I don't know, something else like health and wellness. Here's a channel that has both health and wellness and thrifting. Like, yeah, I do a lot of research on at least YouTube to understand it. And that's why I'm like, it's elite. It is so good.
When it comes to monetization.
Yeah.
In your experience, is YouTube where you monetize?
Oh my God, that is my full-time income off of that. I know people are the opposite, where all of their money is coming in from like brand sponsorships and partnerships. And then YouTube is like second. Mine is YouTube and then like acting and all my other side hustles. And then it's sponsorships.
Interesting.
Right? It's completely different. YouTube is the only one, at least in Canada, that pays you for your content, for your videos.
And I've seen the kind of numbers you got to get to.
Yeah.
Is it like, are you barely clearing those numbers? Are you leaps and bounds? Like, 'cause to be approved to make money on YouTube, you have to you have to be a certain size.
Yeah, you have to have 1,000 followers, which isn't crazy.
Nor is there's 2 of them that aren't hard to get to. It's the view. It's the views
the watch
every
hour.
Yeah.
It's the watch. So it's like 1,000 followers, and then you have to hit, I think it's 4,000 or 5,000 public watch hours, which it did take me a while to get monetized the first time around for my scary channel. It took about like a year and a half.
Okay.
For my comedy channel, since I pushed out videos really consistently, and it was long form, it only took me about 2 months. And then once you've hit it, you're always monetized. So you don't have to go back and always meet that threshold. You just have to make sure that you make at least $100 a month, and then you get paid out. Because I remember the first time I made like $50, and I'm like, yes, but I won't get paid until I make over 100. And you don't lose that money. It's
Facebook just started paying me. I'm getting paid like $10 a month.
You know, that's more than me. I make about 10 cents.
Yeah, it's incredible.
I got a paycheck the other day and it was like 0.01. I'm like, just keep it. Like, it's not even coming to me.
I know. It's still getting paid for content.
I know. 10 cents, yeah, that's good. I'll take anything.
Well, and when I was saying to you earlier, you got to fail faster, right? Like,
yes.
My first launched my YouTube channel. I think my first 3 videos, I spent as much time as the next 30.
Oh my gosh, yes.
And that you got to go through that process, and you got to realize that not everything's going to do well, not everything's going to go the way, and some stuff that you create that you never imagined is going to take off in ways you didn't think.
Yeah.
But until you start just creating,
you just got to post. And I mean, I say that to everyone, and they're like, easier said than done. I'm like, I have been there where my videos are literally 5 views, and it's from me and my mom refreshing it and being like, what are the comments, you know? And then it was 100 views, then it was 1,000. Like, and not all of my videos are still going to hit. And of course, I look at it, I'm like, oh, why didn't that hit? Like, I thought it was a great idea. Of course, even now I still feel that.
Yeah.
Like, you're still gonna go through that. It's just, if you can accept it and move on and learn from it, then you're gonna grow faster. If you see 100 views and you're like, oh, it's not worth my time, I'm not gonna post. Imagine if I did that, I would not have my career. I just kept going. And now I am very grateful that on my comedy channel, I have an editor for my long form content. She works Monday to Friday, 9 to 5, like a normal job. And when I first hired her, I was like, it's just going to be out of pocket. And I'm going to see if I did like a trial period. I'm like, if it works and I see more income from posting consistently, like, again, I still post Monday to Friday and weekends are my like rest day. But I'm like, if I see that this works, I'm going to go with it. So for the first couple of months, I was paying out of pocket, saw that it really helped, and was like, okay, I think I can hire you on full time. And sure enough, it did. But that was a risk that I took, that I was like, I'm going to pay everything that I make from my channel is just going to go back to her for the next.
Total sense.
Yeah. And it worked. And I know someone else that took that risk and, it's working. So
you say some ways you're living your dream life.
Yeah.
So what's next? When you're living your dream life, right? Like,
yeah.
And I don't know how old you are, but you're younger than me. And if you're living your dream life and you got lots of life left to live, right? Goals and aspirations matter. And what's next, and what do you still dream for?
I love that. I love when people ask me this, because I'm obviously content and I'm so blessed where I am now, but I am very much a go, go, go. And I'm like, I just want more. I know I can do so much more. I definitely want to still tap into the acting side of things. And again, with acting, it's whatever role gets presented to you. And if they like you, they like you. If they don't, they don't. You can't really control that. It could be as simple as, we don't like her red hair, we don't have the budget to change it. It could be as simple as that, right? I definitely want to create my own stuff, and then I can do like a YouTube release. Like, there's so many people. Chris Stuckman, he's a big YouTuber, and he created his own film, Shelby Oaks.
Okay,
Is it Shelby?
there you go.
Yeah. So I'm like, I just want to do that. Like, I think I can create my own like horror short films, comedy sketches, and then see, hopefully, brands or a distribution company, Neon A24, I don't know, they see it and they're like, let's get her, So I think I'm gonna write the roles that I want to act in, because acting is still, I'm never giving that part up. Like,
tell me a little bit about that, because I did a little research on you. And I said earlier, you were the top graduate.
Highest GPA in the program.
Amazing. And like, what does that mean? What did it look like? And when you graduated, did you imagine life looking like this, or what did you imagine it looking like?
No. Oh my gosh. When I graduated, again, I didn't think social media, like back then, social media wasn't a thing. It was Instagram pictures. I don't even think there was TikTok back then, or it was Musical.ly or whatever. And then there was no one really at least in my circle, there was no one doing YouTube. I was the first out of everyone, and everyone was obviously like judging me and be like, haha, she looks silly online. Anyway, now everyone wants to do it, and they're messaging me and be like, what's your tips? How did you grow? But when I graduated, there was actually a year where I was living at home. I had no idea what I wanted to do. I had random side gigs, like I was a camp counselor, absolutely hated it, sorry. But I still did it for 3 summers, because I was like, this is the only, thing I'm doing. I'm grateful that I could live at home and I didn't have to pay rent. And there wasn't like, I got an agent, but I was like, what's next? Like, I don't know. And at one point, like I was booking a couple of stuff, but at one point I almost went back to school to become a sign language interpreter. So I know sign language. There was a deaf girl in my program, and I learned sign language to communicate with her. Yeah. And at that point I was like, maybe I should just go back to school and then be an interpreter on set for deaf actors. And I thought about that. And then I was applying for other jobs too. And I got hired as a host for a YouTube channel, and I was working on that. And I was like, I think I can do this my own. Yeah. And I was posting TikToks, and those took off. And that's when I was like, I'm going to double down on my channel and just see where this goes, And I was still like working other jobs. And then I moved out, and I wasn't full time until like I took the risk. And even when I was like full time, I was still cutting it close. I was like paying my bills and having a little bit to save, it wasn't anything crazy. Did I answer your question? I'm like, where? Yeah, acting. Yeah, we got there eventually. Yeah, it was there was just like a 1.5 to 2 years of, what do I do now?
And George Brown recently asked you to come back and teach.
Yeah, my friend, it's a full circle moment. My friend that's like on the board was like, hey, they're looking for teachers for their social media production courses, which again, back then we didn't have that, but times have changed and there's a need. So they're like, you should email them. And I emailed them and I got the offer and I was like, okay, college professor.
Right?
I didn't go to school for, but I've always like, I've always like, I know how to create a PowerPoint and I've taught it, like not formal teaching, but in another sense. And so,
but it makes all the sense in the world because, and not to knock academics or folks who are teaching, but if you haven't done it, and especially with something like this, where it's not easy, right? It takes a grind and a commitment and a knowledge that only comes from failing and learning.
Yeah.
Who better to do it?
Yeah, and that's exactly what they said. And they knew, of course, that I was a good student, so they could rely on me. And it's so fun. I teach a bunch of different courses, like one just being like production, one is video design, so like setting up your own home studio, and then the other is like how to make money online, how to get brand deals, how to actually start if you want to be a creator and take it seriously. And my students respect me, and they have they're so attentive, and they have so many questions. And I would have never thought that I'd be back in the school, and now I'm like seeing former teachers and I'm like, hey, colleague, It's
amazing.
It's me. Yeah.
I can see how you come to a place of contentedness when you're creating and leading on your own. You're getting acting jobs as well, and you're being asked to come back to teach. That's a pretty cool thing.
Yeah. And again, it's just part-time. And this is funny, and I want to bring it up. When I was, again, teaching, I was saying, like, who I was, my background. I was like, oh, I have, like, a million followers. I had a student raise her hand, and she goes, respectfully, miss, if you're so successful, why are you teaching?
Oh,
and I was like, I didn't take that bad. I was like, you know what? That's actually a great question. And I was like, because I don't want all of my eggs in one basket. I'm like, I always, and I'll use this because everyone can relate to it. I'm like, Mr. Beast, he didn't just stay doing YouTube. He did merch. He did his Prime show. Like, he's got all these different avenues of revenue. And I think it's so smart. Like, what happens if you wake up one day and social media is done? What are you going to do?
Well, remember when, was it last January, TikTok got banned for a day and we didn't really know what was going to happen?
Everyone was panicking. I was like, I'll be fine. Because again, we weren't making money anyway. I was like, it'll suck, but I'll be fine.
You've diversified.
Yeah,
right?
exactly. You just got to diversify. And I'm like, who knows what opportunities this will open up. And it looks good on a resume. And then it's led into other things like moderating panels for Prime Video. I did that.
Yeah.
And I can use that as my background, being like, hey, I can moderate, I can host, I want to be a speaker at conventions. I would absolutely love that. And I could be like, I am right for this role because, and then I can say, I teach it literally at George Brown, So who knows?
I didn't know you were doing stand-up. I think that's pretty cool. I'm a big fan of stand-up.
It's hard. Yeah.
I'm a huge Chris Rock fan, Dave Chappelle, and most recently, Nikki Glaser.
So good.
And I couldn't believe that I hadn't known her before. She blew up after the Tom Brady roast and the Gold Globes and all that. But I actually think that comedy is one of the highest forms of art today, especially in the world that we live in, because comedy is where truth gets told.
Yes.
Stand-up especially.
Yes.
Some of the most difficult truths get told from that stage.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
When you say it's difficult, is that why? Is this one of these? I want a goal I want to aspire to.
Yes, for sure. And it's so funny because I remember one of my acting teachers being like, everyone should try stand-up at least once. I was like, not me. You'll never catch me on stage. But I fell in love with improv, and I was at Second City. I took 2 courses there. And then I did their year-long conservatory program where you're writing sketches. And again, you're just immersed in improv. And I was like, I love this. And in a way, what I do, talking to the camera, free-flowing, it's all improv.
Of course it is.
Especially on my comedy channel, I'm looking at an image and I'm reacting to it. I'm roasting it. Like, that's all improv. So I found this so naturally. And then I was like, what's the next step? And so I took a course at Comedy Bar and for stand-up, and I absolutely loved it. And I've only done it once, but I am in talks of getting stage time. And
so where can my audience find you? Where is it going to happen? Can you tell us?
Well, yes, it's going to be Backroom Comedy. It's East End, but yeah, my friend is like, he runs it and he's gonna get me stage time. But I was like, I want to be fully prepared. Like I'm one of those. I'm not a perfectionist, but I want to do something to my fullest potential. So I don't feel like I'm quite there. I know that my material needs some tweaks, and I just want to like get that down before I go back on stage. You know,
if you tell me when, I'll come see you. I'm interested.
Oh.
I love comedy.
Although sometimes I'm like, like when I do shows and stuff, especially improv shows, I'm like, I don't want to know anyone in the audience. You know, it's just less pressure. But yes, for sure.
I like to kind of bring Blue Eyed Devil podcast to a close with some rapid fire, which is just me throwing some stuff out. Are you you're up for it?
Yes.
All right. So we'll try and do some Toronto-based stuff.
Oh no. Okay. Hopefully it's not like quizzes.
Okay. So Drake or Kendrick?
Ooh, I'll go with Drake.
Okay. Skydome or Rogers Center?
Skydome. Come on now. Classic.
Raptors or Leafs?
Raptors.
Princess of Wales Theater or the Ed Mirvish Theater?
Ooh. I mean, it's both owned by Mirvish, right?
Truth.
Ooh, see, that's a hard one because I've been to both and they're both so beautiful. I got to go with Mirvish.
All right. Favorite place to go out on a Friday night?
Oh, that's a good one. There's a lot of like gaming bars that are fun. Free Play is really good. I've been there a bunch.
Where's that?
It's like in Kensington Market,
All
but
right.
it's just like you pay like $5 and you go and play games and it's so chill. Like I love that.
What's one thing that people wouldn't know about you from searching you up online?
Oh, I mean, like I feel like we talked about it, but yeah, the sign language, the like really, I guess people don't know that I'm just like, I love sports. I play soccer. Every time I post about playing soccer, they're like, wait a minute, what?
So who are you taking in the World Cup?
Hey, it's me and my mom.
You putting money on a team? Canada?
It's not going to be Canada.
Certainly not, but you can still cheer for them.
I can still cheer. Exactly.
I just got my Scotland jersey this week, so I'm pretty excited.
Okay.
They haven't been in the World Cup since 1998, so it's
my
been a
gosh.
long drought for them. So I'm very excited.
Okay,
for it.
I'll cheer for Scotland too. I'm
Yeah?
like, I'm not set on any team, you know?
I like to cheer for the underdogs in the World Cup, right? Because there's so many teams who really don't like. You know, there's Brazil, France,
Yes.
and then there's everybody else.
I know. So they're really top teams, and then
And being born in Scotland,
Yes.
I cheer vehemently for Scotland, but I cheer even more vehemently for whoever's playing England. So
yes,
so
okay.
I'll be very, even if Scotland doesn't well, I'll be very excited to support the team.
They always put up a good fight though. Like even the the underdogs, it's like they don't give up. It's not an easy game. Like
You know, those of us coming from those ginger nations, we've always had to fight hard. Right? So,
I'm like, yeah.
well, it's been good to have you here,
Yes,
Lindsay.
thank you so much for having me.
It really has. And you want to find Lindsay, you can look her up online. Not hard to find her. Everywhere. Leon's commercials and everywhere. And it sounds like there's going to be some stand-up to find. So have a look, follow, subscribe, like, do all those good things. This has been the Blue Eyed Devil podcast here at Toronto Podcasts, right here in Toronto.
Hey.
Peace.
Bye. Peace.
Thanks, Lindsay.
Woo! And Graham's not even there,
He's
so
not
we're
there
still
anymore.
rolling.
Yeah, we're still good.
We can get some bloopers going on
Hoods
here.
up and, you know.
I'm like, oof, it did get hot.
Good?
Yeah.
All right.
It's just like, yeah, it's a hot room in here.
Yeah, it needs a little bit of air.
Graham, you're going to be editing
I was going to
this
get Graham
later.
to take a picture with us holding this.
No, he can when he comes back.
How long was that? I don't even know.
I don't even know.
Oh.
It will say raw time on the screen. Delete. No. 3:20. Oh yeah, it's 3:25 right now. I thought you meant it was 3 hours. 25. Yes, I saw him click clacking away. Hey, love it.
What do you have going on now?
Oh, what time is it? Okay. Yeah, I have a couple of meetings and then, yeah, just filming, and it should technically be an easy day. We're done.
We wrapped. You mind taking one picture with us holding
Absolutely, yeah.
AG stuff?
I got some behind the scenes when you guys are in there. Too.